So 1 minute I'm at the gym and the next thing I wake up in hospital. I was told later that someone had performed CPR on me, but I don't remember anything. The doctors tell me I need to have an ICD, an implantable cardiac defibrillator. Apparently it's like having my very own electric shock treatment. It's to head off a heart rhythm and a heart rate that could kill. They tell me I could have died from a sudden cardiac arrest.
The heart attack was like somebody put a belt around my chest and were slowly tightening it. That was about lunchtime then. After that it sort of slackened off. Over the years though, it's just been getting worse.
So, here goes. Time for my surgery. I'm not that bothered about the fact I'm going to be conscious.
I wasn't too worried about it, but I was. I can remember being wheeled down in the trolley and in the operating theatre, and it was like a couple of theatres. I was pre-medded, and I remember being put on the table.
There was a light. It must be one of those big lights that you can pull down, but it was like mirrored, like reflective.
They were telling me what they were doing, how they cut a wee purse, Ken. It's like putting a purse up in your chest. And there's these wires that go for that into your heart.
Actually, the worst bit is when they're cutting into the skin. This is the worst bit, and then they were like fiddling about and pushing it in. He's just about shoving me through the table, like, you know? I feel as if I was going to go right through the trolley. I mean, he apologised like for pressing so hard. It was to get this. I couldn't visualise as to what it would look like. I was surprised when, it's just a box.
I found the actual receiving the ICD quite an interesting exercise because you're really quite awake, but you're watching all this on TV and on the monitors.
Once that got fitted in there, I wanted to tear it back out again. I did. I was quite... I don't know what the word was, but I just didn't like it in there. I felt that you were conscious of it being there all the time.
He was frightened somebody bumped into him.
And when I went back to work, drivers or mechanics, they were putting their hand on my back and my shoulder like that and gripping me, and they were forgetting I had it. And there was a lot of things like that, and the garage itself had a lot of mechanical parts in there, and there was all magnets and God knows what was in there. I was dead scared to go in there in case things were going to set it off, and it was terrible.
I can feel it sometimes if I'm lying down. It'll jut out a bit more, then it'll go back in. But it's just part of me now, it's no big deal. I mean, if I didn't have it, I wouldn't be able to breathe, you know. You'd just be sitting, worrying, day in, day out.
When I first had this implanted, it felt very much like my enemy, despite the fact I kent it could save my life. And by the end of this journey, I feel that I'd feel awfully strange without it, you can. So I feel it has really become a part of me in a way I did never think it would.
When Dan was very ill, I was concerned because we'd go to bed at night. This was before he had his ICD put in. We'd go to bed at night and I'm listening to his breathing because sometimes it sounded as though he was going to stop. And then I thought, oh God, something's going on. And then he would breathe again. So I really was. But he was totally unaware of that because he was asleep. So I was very keen for him to have an ICD because I thought, well, at least if I'm asleep and he stops breathing or whatever, then something's going to happen to save him.
The first time I was shocked. I mean, once the ICD senses my heart's going into an arrhythmia, then it lets off a massive shock. Sometimes you get a sense that it's going to happen, just a weird feeling, and then boom. It felt like, I don't know, like hit by a truck or something. I felt it throughout my whole body, and it was just horrible. It's just very unpleasant, just a massive, it's like a punch to the whole body. It's like being kicked in the chest by a horse.
I'm just worried that if I go to the gym or drink too much coffee or have a night in the town, I'm going to make it go off. And then, how does the ICD know the difference between when I actually need a shock and when it's maybe just someone else? Like, is it something that I've done to make it go off? I mean, I might have a faulty lead or something, or just be a bit broken, and I get shocked, both painfully and unexpectedly, for nothing. It's no me, it's the machine.